All right, you feather merchants. This story is going to take you back into time, back in the early part of 2006, in a foreign land called Afghanistan. And we were at Policharkie Prison. And Policharkie Prison in Kabul, Afghanistan, has a reputation of being a notorious prison for a history of violence, and it's nowhere near as secure as Pelican Bay State Prison was, or is. But when it comes to violence, Pelican Bay couldn't hold a candle to what has happened behind the walls of this prison. And anyway, we were teaching a 10-week correctional academy there. And one of the classes that we were teaching was cell extractions, how to do a cell extraction. And we taught the class, and we were going to have the students practice doing this. And what I thought, well, you know what? To make it more realistic, I'd like to volunteer to be the inmate that they have to extract. So they get the team together, and as they're getting the team together and they're getting suited up with their helmets and handcuffs and shield and baton and all that sort of thing, I asked one of the language assistants, I said, teach me a couple of bad words real quick, in Dari. I want to know how to say some bad stuff to them. And I want to know, how do you say, I'm going to kill you? Anyway, he gives me a few words to say. I'm practicing them. And anyway, all the instructors are observing this, and the other correctional officers, Afghan correctional officers that went through the class, they're observing their buddies up there doing a cell extraction. So anyway, they come. I'm in a cell, a real cell. It's a holding cell, and they got me locked in there, and I had some Billy Bob teeth. The Billy Bob teeth, and it kind of like make me look more like a Taliban. And I had a rag on my head, and I'm not saying anything until they get up to the cell, and they had a card just like they do in the States. Excuse me. Where they're telling me what's going to happen if I don't come out of this cell. They're going to have to come in and get me. One way, they start to tell me this little spiel in Dari, and I go ballistic on them. I jumped up on the cell door, and I'm screaming at them in Dari. I'm calling them a lot of nasty words. And I'm telling them I'm going to kill them if they come in here. And it was so funny because we weren't expecting this, but they ran. They turned around and ran. And when the other instructors, they asked them, well, what are you running for? Mr. Jim's lost his mind. We're not going in there. And so they convinced him he's... Mr. Jim is just acting, he's not as dangerous as he looks. So anyway, they come back, and I'm still acting up, I'm trying to tear the door off the hinges. Anyway, they read me the riot act, and I wasn't responding, and so they they came in and distracted me. It was really good though. It was I resisted. I didn't want to resist too much because I don't want to hurt someone, and I certainly didn't want to get hurt myself. I'd only been there a short time. I didn't want them sending me home with a broken leg or something. But it was funny, and it was really interesting doing this. And everyone in that prison, I think from the top general that ran it to the officers that worked in there, I don't think they had more than 5 years experience working inside of a prison. Their backgrounds were some of them had worked with the Russians when the Russians were there, and some of them had been Mujahideen fighters in the mountains fighting the Russians, and they came from all kinds of different backgrounds. Had been in the military, that sort of thing. Anyway, it was really interesting working with these people, and it was an honor to be there. And there's one other story I was going to tell you. They housed Taliban fighters there that they had captured, and in my spare time, I asked the interpreter. I said, "Ask this guard if he could take me into where they have the Taliban. It's a big prison, big." And he said, "Yeah, I'll do that." And one of the security leads was there with me, and he was curious about this too, but he couldn't take any weapons in there. They told him no weapons. So anyway, it's me, the security lead, and the prison guard that is going to escort it, and a language assistant that's going to interpret. So anyway, we go into this cell block, and I'm expecting them to be locked up in their cells, right? So anyway, the guy opens the gate for us to walk into this cell block, and what I observed is when we went into the cell block, there was several cells in a straight line, and the inmates, the Taliban, were housed there, and there was cells big enough for two people to each cell. Well, I couldn't believe it. They weren't locked up. They all came out of their cells, and it's like I wasn't expecting that, And so they're real curious who we are, and it could be NGO people, there to help them, but I could see they were really looking us over, and by the clothes we were wearing, they seemed to understand that we weren't there to help them with anything. We were there to train correctional officers, prison guards, and it was a big group of them, and they surrounded us. And I could see the security lady. He was getting nervous, and I started thinking, this could go south really easy, and we're depending on this prison guard that's got the radio, to be able to call for assistance if these guys attack. And while I'm looking at these guys, none of them had any shoes on. So I told the security lead, I said, if we have to fight these guys, just start stomping on their feet to kind of hold them off until the cavalry comes, And anyway, we didn't have to do that. We talked to them a little bit, and they kind of lost interest in us and went back to their cells. You know what I couldn't understand? There was a lot. I forget how many cells were there. There were more cells than there were inmates. If you paired them each of them up to go into a cell, but yet there were 3 and sometimes 4 people to one small cell. And it was to their choosing. They, I don't know, it was odd to me. I would like to have a little comfort. If it was up to me, like one other person in there, but they crammed 3 and sometimes 4 people in that one small cell. Anyway, it was interesting. And while I'm doing this, I want to give a shout out to the guy that was running the show, the supervisor. His name was Robert Gibson, and this guy, he was, I think he was an attorney I think that's one of his skill sets. And he had worked in a prison down in Florida. He had a little bit of prison experience. He acted like he had much more than he really had. But what he did have, he was a good manager. The guy was really excellent, and he had a good heart. Honest, and he was a natural leader, and he was in charge of all of us, the correctional people, advisors, and he was in charge of the attorneys also. And that was quite a responsibility. But anyway, this is a shout out to Robert, if he watches any of my videos. And what I'm going to do is give you a short clip at the end of this video showing you a prison yard in Policharkie. All right, let me get the film ready. All right, you feather merchants, I hope you enjoyed the short film, and thank you so much for dropping by, and I'll see you in the next video.